Mic check. How we doing, mechanics? It's Neighborhood Paul here. We are jumping back into a Legend of Noia, the City of Dodge. I will say with this one, we may or may not have some technical issues, but we will work through them as best we can, alright? So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, I believe it is time for our adventures.
I was just like,
hello.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Oh, I love that. I don't know what part of the story I just came in on there.
We were talking about Thor, Love and Thunder.
We were talking about Tessa Thompson, who has my whole heart from Thor, Love and Thunder, when she kissed that girl's hand, and I was just like, oh, I'm dead. Dead.
Dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
D-E-D, dead.
Yep.
D-E-D, dead.
All right. Well, welcome in, mechanics, as we sit back and entertain you with yet another Legend of Noia, City of Dodge, Part 2. Hopefully, Part 2 of 2. But we'll see how the night shakes out. Allegedly, there was some people thinking like, oh, what if we just don't? What if we just don't do that? What if we just don't do anything about what transpired the last time, and instead we're just like, you know what? I think I'll just leave.
If we just don't do your idea, then this will just become a recurring campaign, and
A Legend of Noia, the City of Dodge, the campaign.
Exactly.
The beer's cold. That's their tagline.
Oh, I was gonna say we got 5 years before the main campaign kicks off, so you guys got 5 years of fuckery.
We can go through the whole assassination of that one guy. Like we got plenty of stuff.
Shh, spoilers.
I mean, what?
But hey, wait a minute. Hold on.
Listen, that could mean Tony down the street. Like,
wait, hold on.
Anything.
Wait a minute. We got one extra player here. Last time we only had 3. Now we have a 4th. Who are you?
Where did I come from? Hi, I'm Tracy. This is my first DuM experience. I'm very excited.
Yes, that is Tracy Ramon of Sloppy Dice. You can find her over on twitch.tv/Tracy Ramon.
That's it.
So I almost messed it up. Thought about messing.
You did it. You got it right, though. I'm proud of you.
So, yes, it is going to be a lot of fun today. But before we get to that, we have some sponsorships to read. And I totally remembered to tell the squad about that.
Alright, give me just a second and I'll have mine ready.
If you guys want to do yours again from last week, you can. If not, I'll smash through these real quick.
No, we're good.
Hello, mechanics! Our first sponsor of the day is the Barkley Garage. This veteran-owned woodworking company creates homemade wood items sourced in New Mexico. Now available is a new line of Dungeon Mechanics exclusive dice towers, available for order. Just use the promo code MEC25, all caps, to get 25% off these fine dice towers today. And don't forget to tell them Dungeon Mechanics sent you.
Love that. Our next one, actually, Ergard, you want to take the next one? Because I can't remember which ones I sent you guys.
Well, sure, I could take the next one. I mean, it kind of fits in, right? You know, you're talking about woodworking. It's like the building things with your hands. People don't really have the time or capability, in my case, to do that. The same thing applies for our next sponsor, which is Plus One Crafting. Plus One Crafting has you covered if you're needing affordable terrain builds for your tabletop RPG. From a wide assortment of tile-based sets, you'll be all the rage at your next D&D session or whatever tabletop RPG you are playing. Head over to the link in the chat, use code MECHANICS, that's MECHANICS, to get 25% off any order over $50. And remember, adventures shouldn't cost a fortune.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And next up, we have Underground Oracle. Wouldn't you like to have unique content created by best-selling writers and game designers? Well, Underground Oracle has you covered. With their supplements, you will gain access to 5th edition resources for both sides of the screen. Their content comes in a wide array, available at affordable prices as little as $3 a month via Patreon and Coffee. And in the event that that's too rich for your blood, don't worry, they'll take care of you with free content that is offered each and every month. You can check them out by clicking the link below or heading to undergroundoracle.com or head on over to drivethrurpg.com today. Next up is these lovely tones that are tickling your ears right now come to you straight from Epidemic Sounds. Wouldn't you like to never have to worry about your videos being demonetized again? With our sponsor Epidemic Sounds, the sound gods have you covered. With over 35,000 tracks and 90,000 sound effects, there's definitely a sound for every mood or occasion. Epidemic Sound links to all your social media accounts such as Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and more. Simply clicking the link below and sign up today to get started. On your subscription. And last but not least, we are going to be going over some housekeeping now that all of our lovely sponsors has been named. Now then, luck and inspiration. I say not really long gone, but gone are the days of subscriber luck and inspo. I know, I'm so sorry I fought for y'all, I was overruled by the other two heads of this Cerberus that we call DuM. Although, in an effort to keep the game balanced, you'll be able to now gift your channel point rewards to the players or the DM. Be careful though, as there are a limited amount you can redeem per stream. This perk is available to anyone who follows Dungeon Mechanics and has enough mech points. And last, but certainly not least, don't forget that you can catch this episode and any other past sessions on Dungeon Mechanics' YouTube page. Simply head on over to the link in the chat and follow along on the shenanigans. Episodes like this one will be aired on the YouTube channel so that you can watch at your viewing pleasure and in case you miss the live broadcast. And I believe that has us all covered with our housekeeping and our sponsors. So, with all that,
We don't do any of the giveaways during this one, right?
no, I'm not cool enough to warrant giveaways on my two-parters, or at least let me rephrase this. I wasn't told that I'm doing that, therefore I shan't be speaking of it.
Fair enough. I shall preface my preface.
Now then, let's get into A Legend of Noia, the City of Dodge. Last time... Wah, wah, wah. So, last time on A Legend of Noia, our adventurers kind of happened to find themselves between a rock and a hard place, as they were all in this town, the City of Dodge, for one reason or another. Some returning home, some just passing through, others maybe even looking for work. But to their dismay, their restful night at the tavern was cut short by the sounds of screams and the, well, for lack of a better term, the smell of burning buildings. As they ran out into the streets, they were met by the sight of people running for their lives, screaming as flames were beginning to engulf houses, and as the sounds of fighting raged in the streets, they spread out to try to help out where they could, finding a group of kobolds just outside of the city, pushing their way in from one side, as the other side were carts that seemed to be lit ablaze. As they fanned out, they managed to dispatch the kobolds and all of the people fighting. Well, all of the people that were raiding the town were taken out, and unfortunately they did lose a handful of the townsfolk with it. Not to mention, one of the carts that were set ablaze seemed to be loaded with some type of explosive that best they could judge at the time was a bit of TNT. And as the cart came barreling down the street, one of our own barely managed to get out of the way, slipping just to the side as it roared past, crashing into one of the buildings before exploding. And now, as the sounds of battle have ended, a small battalion of soldiers begins rolling through the town, helping to put out some of the fires and to aid any of the townsfolk that are still there, and hopefully to drive off any kobolds that our party might have missed. And so now, as we go back into the tavern, we have our two of our three adventurers fairly weary, and a third one who looks like, well, they're just more annoyed that they might have lost some arrows. What would you guys like to do?
When Ren saw Krieg and Roger come back around, she would hop down and talk to them. Hey, are you guys okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Do I look okay? I'm bleeding from every orifice.
Oh yes, I suppose you too. Sorry.
Yeah, you might want to sit down before you bleed out. I can try to see if one of the medics outside can take a look at you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Would you like to maybe stage inside your tower for some of that, or would you rather do it elsewhere? I can start trying to round up wounded and injured to a certain spot.
Well, I think the knights or the soldiers outside are handling most of that now. They kind of want anybody who's not.
Fair.
They just kind of want to keep the streets clear. Anybody who's not either in need of help or, well, one of them, just so in case there were anybody else with the kobolds and such that, well, y'all
Well,
don't
if they
get
have it
mistaken as
handled,
one
then I'll just go wait inside the tavern. That's okay.
Yeah, by all means, sit down, help yourself to any of the water, hell, help yourself to any of the ale. And as he says that, he gets like a swat on the arm, like from Roger. Help yourself to some of the ale. Some of the ale.
Don't worry, I know I can drink quite a bit, but I'm not going to drink you guys out of business. I need you guys here.
That would be much appreciated. As Roger kind of looks at Krieg again, and Krieg's just, look, I'm sorry if I think there's more important things to deal with right now.
It's okay. If you guys want to handle things out here, I'll try to keep the peace inside the bar.
That'd be fantastic, thank you. As you see the hobgoblin kind of starts helping some of the other people, you know, bringing more people into the tavern, just trying to get them off the streets and out of the fire and such. As Roger kind of does more of the same, but you know, at least trying to keep an eye on things to make sure nobody's, well, bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah, Lilafur is getting very comfortable in the inn, like feet up, just drinking, still fancy a little bit, pinky out. Of course, their real face is showing right now. But yeah, they're gonna call it there and just kind of wait for whoever to come help them out with band-aids or anything.
Okay. And Core, what are you doing?
Or stays out on the street a little longer, if possible,
Okay.
looking over the bodies.
Okay. Looking over the body, you're so I'm assuming you're investigating. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, are you looking at the townsfolk or
The townsfolk.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that. They're not, the guards had seen you fighting, so they're not, as they kind of rolled in, so they're not exactly clocking you as a threat at this moment. So
As you rob their people.
you didn't say looting anything. You just said looking over the bodies. You want to loot, then we're gonna have you roll something.
No, not looting anyone. Not looting anyone.
Who's assuming first in people? Tisk tisk. Okay, so as you guys are beginning to wind down, Core, kind of after you begin kind of looking over some of the bodies, possibly recognizing a few, though they do look vastly different than what you recall them, as you begin to also make your way into the inn. You guys kind of just spread out in there along with some of the other townsfolk. Might have lost their homes during the blaze, or simply are too afraid to go somewhere in a small, or without a. As Krieg and Roger begin passing out water, bread, and bits of meat to try to make sure that everybody is trying to keep everybody as calm as they possibly can during this very stressful situation.
Core will head up to the bar and put a small pouch on it and just look at Krieg. And in Krieg's mind, say, something a little stronger for these people, please.
Krieg kind of is taken aback for a moment, but he doesn't seem too phased by it. Yeah, let me see what I can fish up. And he kind of goes under the bar and kind of his more private stash and starts kind of pulling out these very dark colored bottles. Yeah, it ain't much, but it's wine. I heard it's pretty good. I don't know. I know Roger's normally the one who drinks it. Roger, hearing that, kind of perks up and turns, and you know, like whenever you have somebody who is very adamant on like that's their favorite thing, and then you're handing it out freely to somebody. That's what Roger's giving a glare, because he know he can't make a fuss about it, because he would then look like an ass. But he knows that like he's gonna rip Krieg's head off for that later.
Be like, next time on Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, next time on Am I the Asshole for giving away my husband's best wine to a bunch of scarred and injured townsfolk.
Yeah.
In Krieg's mind, there's the addition of stronger whiskey, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Things to make people forget and be calm and to deal with their nerves.
All right.
And then Cord turns around and heads to a table somewhere alone.
Okay.
leaving the little pouch that they set on the bar.
Krieg finishes pulling out these bottles of wine that are very ornate looking, and then starts kind of hollering at a few of the less stressed out looking townsfolk, the ones who are kind of a little bit more, yeah, I would say a bit more, they're good, so to speak. To start passing out glasses of that as he goes behind the bar and comes back with 2 big jugs. Kind of like, think of like those old moonshine jugs you would see, like the stereotypical ones. Those. And he begins popping that open and transferring them into smaller bottles to then around. Making sure to cut it a little bit because, well, he cuts the whiskey. The straight stuff might kill somebody.
Ren would like just be sitting there at the bar for a while and like see all this, and then eventually be like, "Okay, fine, I'll help." And we'll get up and start helping, like pass out bottles and stuff.
Okay. You see the bottle, you recognize it. It's the Belmonte wine. You're familiar. Like it's good stuff. And yeah, as you guys kind of begin to pass that out, some of the guards come in and they start questioning some people. One of them looks to be, would assume to be like the guard captain, while the other one, she's very, very tall, very broad-shouldered. By the looks of it, she looks to be a Goliath. And her scribe walking with her looks to be an elf of some sort. Based on some of the more rounder features, you assume possibly he is a half-elf. But they're both clad in armor, him kind of quickly jotting things down in a book as people are speaking, not really making any comments of his own, not elaborating, just letting the commander ask the questions as she slowly kind of makes her way around the room. Would you 3 be sitting in relative close proximity to each other, or would you 3 be spread out? I know, Core, you said you sat at a table kind of by yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think we're kind of spread out because Gore went by himself. Lilifer was like perched up and lounging in one of the spots, and Ren is either like shuttling things back and forth or sitting at the bar. So
Okay.
probably not gonna make things easy for you. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You see her begin talking with Roger and with Krieg, and you see Krieg kind of gesture to each one of you individually. And the commander kind of turns. I believe, Rin, you would be the only one that they would know the name of. Unless, Lilifer, did you give them your name? I can't remember.
Give who my name?
Either Krieg or Roger, the bartender, or the...
Oh yeah, no, I definitely built it my name with pride to them both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would know your 2 names. Core, they wouldn't necessarily know your name.
They would not. No.
Yeah. So they she turns around. Can I see the adventurers that helped push back the assailants? Tabaxi, Rin, Lilifer, the shifter? Nope, shape changer, changeling.
I raise my hand and kind of like wiggle my fingers in the air without saying anything. Just without saying anything, going like, right here.
And the silent hooded figure? Why is this the only description I have? And then they point to Core again.
In their mind, they hear Core.
Okay. She kind of looks around like, where did that come from? And then she sees a hooded figure sitting by themselves. And then she points.
Staring at them.
4?
They nod.
Right, if you...
Rin would look at Krieg real quick and be like, "Can you give me a usual? I'm going to need it." And we'll slide another silver across the bar.
He slides the silver back across to you. I'll get it set up. Just you go talk with the captain, please.
And as he turns around to like start making the drink, she'll like kind of quickly slide a pan it back behind the bar somewhere that he would see it
Got it.
eventually.
Roll me, give me a sleight of hand real quick.
Sure.
Just to see how smooth you can do this.
That would be a 22.
As smooth as silk. You just, like, effortlessly kind of tuck it away. You put it in one of the glasses that are underneath the counter. So, like, as soon as he picks that up, it's just going to be a silver piece in there, and he's going to be like, what the fuck? And so, as you guys are actually, let me rephrase it, are the three of you, the commander walks out along with the scribe. Are you three going to follow, or?
Once she gets her drink, she would drop the shot in, drink the half of it, and then carry it outside with her to just sip on it while she talks to them.
Okay.
Lilifer would just have the deepest sigh as she sees them walk out. As Lilifer is all comfortable, and now they have to get up and leave. It's like it flips. They flip their hair, their pale hair, and it begins to kind of go wavy mid flip and kind of like a reddish brown as their pale face becomes more tan with freckles this time, and they have like bright green eyes. They'll walk out with their drink.
Core would stand up and gather their cloak around themselves a little bit more and start heading out. They're a little sluggish.
Okay. So the three of you are now standing out kind of on that front porch patio of the bar. And as the commander is sitting there... Sorry, I just had a whole technical glitch. Uh-oh.